Welcome, race fans, to another edition of American Dirt Track Racing. I'm Johnny Strasser, and joining me here in the tower, Bill Satzler. Once again, we're here at the Port Royal Speedway on this May the 16th, another beautiful Saturday night for sprint cars, small block modified, and street stock racing, Bill.
Hey, it's been a beautiful day. The track appears to be in great condition. I don't see a bump anywhere, and we've got fine field of cars. We've got in the sprints, we've got last night's Williams-Grove feature winner, Maynard Jenks, and we've got another fine field of small blocks, about 30 of them. So it's going to be a really exciting night for racing tonight.
And you're right, 30 small blocks, 24 sprint cars in the pits right now, and it looks like a great night for racing. We have a real good field of street stockers on hand here tonight.
Bunch of new guys there in the street stock division. I don't think it's going to be so easy tonight for Warren to make it 5 feature wins this year. Looks like there's going to be some competition there for him tonight.
Right there, as we scan the sprint car pits, you see the number 28G of Joey Gravino, the 55 of Mike Wagner, who's featured in this week's Speedway program. There we see the number 27S of Tim Hershey, and a new driver on hand with us here tonight, Gordy Button, driving the Miller American number 1 sprint car. And Gordy was out on the track for warm-ups and looked real sharp out there.
Car sounded real good. Here it is at the Miller High Life sponsored, for here at Port Royal Speedway. Now they have their car here tonight, so
kind of a
maybe there'll be some good luck.
Yeah, right. There it is on your screen right now. Boy, it sure does make for a nice-looking sprint car with all the Miller colors and everything. We'll be watching Gordy Button as he makes his debut here at Port Royal tonight. Right now, we're going to take a short little break, and we'll be back with the first qualifying heat race of the evening. Okay, we're back in here for sprint car heat number 1. We'll go down over the starting lineup. On the pole will be the number 85 of Craig Eschenauer, and alongside him, the number 10C, will be rookie Pat Small.
Okay, in the second row, in the 27T, that's Tim Hershey. Outside, second row, in that 4th starting spot, and number 11, Todd Schaefer.
Third row, inside, in that 5th starting spot, will be the number 86, back this week after being absent last week, the ICP car of Rick Salem, and alongside him, feature winner at the Bedford Speedway 2 weeks ago, the number 28G of Joey Gravino.
In the 4th row on the inside, last night's feature winner at Williams-Grove Speedway, the 880 of Maynard Jenks, and outside of him in the number 53, Tom Chiapelli.
Dropping back now to row number 5, inside, starting in that 9th starting spot will be the number 14 of Bill Perry, and alongside him in car number 72 will be Ed Richard.
And in our 6th and final row is the number 12 of Troy Fraker, and there on your screen you can see the number 1 of Gordy Button in that Miller car.
Sure is a pretty looking, very pretty race car, that's for sure. So we've got the Miller sprint car at the Miller American Port Royal Speedway tonight. We'll be back to see how well Gordy Button makes his way around this fast and furious half mile here at Port Royal. Well, we're back in here at the Port Royal Speedway. There you can see Joey Gravino and Rick Salem setting in the pit area. They were both scheduled in this heat race. The rest of the field is on the backstretch and ready to go. Evidently, some motor problems for Gravino, and we don't know what may be the problem on the 86 car. We'll watch them as they come off turn number 4. We're green flag.
And that's Todd Schaefer on the outside of both Craig Eschenauer and Pat Small, and he's going to take the front running position as they go through turns 1 and 2.
Well, Todd Schaefer's your leader as they head down the backstretch. Eschenauer runs in that 2nd spot, followed by Tim Hershey in the number 27. Here comes Gravino, or rather Maynard Jenks in the Roy Morrill Hardy's number 880.
That's Maynard Jenks there, now in your 4th position on the speedway, and right behind him in the number 14 is the number, that's Bill Perry. So Perry looks very strong here tonight too, and then the number 1 car also moving up on our speedway, and that's Gordy Button.
There's your battle for the lead now as they head into turns 1 and 2. Todd Schaefer and Greg Eschenauer. I talked to one of the crewmen on Schaefer's car earlier in the pits. They really felt optimistic about going into tonight's races. They got a fresh engine in the car. And it looks like we got problems in turn number 4. Somebody rolling into the pit area. It's the number 12 car of Troy Fraker.
Troy Fraker also coming up with another motor problem, so it's a tough break for the motors on this first heat. Schaefer still in the lead as he goes into turn 3. Eschenauer still right with him, though, as in second and waiting for any opportunity to get by Todd as they come down to the front stretch to complete another lap.
Schaefer and Eschenauer have really put a lot of distance on your third place man, Maynard Yanks, and Tim Hershey. I should say Tim Hershey, then Maynard Yanks, as Hershey runs in that third spot. But you got to remember that Maynard Yanks started all the way in the back, too.
Yeah, the fight right now is for the lead, you know, with Todd Schaefer and Eschenauer, and then Hershey's all by himself, and then we've got Maynard and the number 14 of Perry, you know, battling it out for fourth. So it's like he's in the middle of a storm.
Camera swings around. Here comes your leaders now. Down the front stretch. Greg Eschenauer, and a ball of smoke comes out the number 11 car, and that car's locked up, Bill. He just expired an engine in the number 11, the Tuscarora Evergreen. Number 11 goes up in a ball of smoke here. Maybe I spoke a little too soon. Like I said, one of the crew members told me earlier tonight they had a pretty good feeling about tonight's program, but I'm sure they don't have that good feeling any longer.
No, and Eschenauer did an excellent job of getting by him because he was just following Todd around. They were both driving the same groove, and when that cloud of smoke went up and his car locked up, Eschenauer had to do some dramatic maneuvering.
Maynard Yanks pulls into the pit area now in the number 880. Maynard heads back to the pits, so evidently it could be a problem on the Roy Morrill Hardy's car. And they're dropping like flies here tonight already, Bill. We've already lost 3 heavyweights in the form of Joey Gravino, Rick Salem, now Maynard Yanks. Todd Schaefer blows an engine. So we could be looking at a pretty anemic field till we get to the feature.
Well, let's hope that, they're working on the Gravino car and the Rick Salem car. Maynard's problems may not be terminal. We've got 24 cars here tonight, so if they can get their cars back together, they can start on the rear of the field.
Okay, we'll cut out of here, and we'll be back with the green flag and the restart. Okay, we're back in here once again at the Port Royal Speedway with our leader, Craig Eschenauer. A lot of attrition has eaten up the biggest part of this field. Let's see what happens. Green flag waves. We're back underway.
Eschenauer jumps out in the front there, opening up a little bit of distance immediately on the number 27T of Tim Hershey, and following him in the number 14, that's the Bill Perry. So the number 1 car of Gordy Button has worked his way up to 4th through attrition.
Well, there goes Eschenauer by, and there's Pat Small as he works his way by Gordy Button. Just as you mentioned him, Bill, he immediately goes backward in the field. So a tough break for Gordy. That car may have jumped out of gear. You never know. We're picking it back up with your leader, Craig Eschenauer. 2 laps to go on your leader.
Craig looks really good here tonight. He was staying right with Todd before Todd's engine expired. So definitely, had the potential to win this heat from the get-go.
That's exactly right, Bill. Right now, Eschenauer, who has been running strong all night so far, will pick up the white flag from starter Bob Hockenberry. 1 more lap to go on Eschenauer. Running in that second spot is Tim Hershey in the number 27. Running third is the 14 of Bill Perry. Running in that 5th spot is the number 1 of Gordy Button. That's the way they're going to finish, most likely, as here comes Eschenauer off turn 4.
Eschenauer made a strange move there to the outside of turn 4. I thought for a second he was not going to be able to get it around, but he manages to hold on for that win. Hershey finishes 2nd. Perry finishes 3rd. And it looks like the number 1 on about 6 or 7 cylinders, the Gordy Button Miller car, number 1, is going to finish 4th.
Okay, there's your winner, the number 85 of Craig Eschenauer, formerly a pit crew member on the Joey Gravino team, and Eschenauer has come a long way since twisting the wrenches on the number 28G. Has his own little sprint car effort going and doing a good job. We'll be back with... Okay, we're back here at the Port Royal Speedway for the final qualifying heat race for the sprint cars. Starting on the pole in car number 2D will be Lance DeWeese, and alongside him in the number 66 will be Roger Pickett.
In that second row on the inside, the number 88 of Bob Landis, and outside, number 4 in the 4th starting position, the number 16 of Bobby Weaver.
Third row inside in that 5th starting spot in the number 55 will be Mike Wagner, and alongside him the number 17B back here campaigning once again at the Port Royal Speedway, Joey Borich.
In that 4th row on the inside in the 461 of Paul Latier, and the outside in number 44, Brad Mertz.
Dropping back to row number 5 now, and that 9th starting spot will be the number 35 of Jim Kennedy. Got the number changed this week. Car was owned by Tim Dietz. And alongside Jim Kennedy in car number 22, making his first appearance. He was here last week, but he didn't get the car actually running. He had a problem with the car. New driver, rookie driver, Rod Strout.
And in the 6th and final row, on the inside will be the number 4 of Jay Bolts, and I believe he's a first-time driver here. First time for the Port Royal Speedway this year. And outside of him, the number 63G, Jim Gesselman.
Okay, there's your 12 starters. Looking down over it, some pretty good heavyweight material in this one. Landis, Weaver, Wagner has been running strong. Latier, Borich has run well here at Port Royal in the past, so you never know. We'll be watching that front couple of rows when we return, and we'll be ready to go. Green flag racing. Okay, the field taking form quickly here as we come off turn number 4. Green flag waves, and we're underway. Landis with the lead as they head down the front stretch.
Landis made a quick jump by the number 66 of the Roger Pickett car, and no hesitation at all. He's walking away from Lance Louise.
A half a straightaway lead on Bobby Landis already. He isn't wasting any time tonight. Here he comes, your leader, Bobby Landis.
In second position is number 2D, Lance Louise. Bobby Weaver's running third, Paul Latier fourth, and now the battle for fifth is the number 66 there of Roger Pickett and number 55 of Mike Wagner.
Up front, and turn number 2, we got the battle. We'll wait right there, and coming into your screen, your leader, the number 88 of Bobby Landis. Right there is the car I was going to refer to, dropping into the pit area, and I couldn't pick up the number. I think it's Gieselman in the 63. Now we pick up our leader, Bobby Landis. Will follow him down the front stretch.
Landis had a tough break last night at Lernersville. Apparently was leading that race, came up with a flat tire. Definitely sitting right back where he left off there before the flat tire at Lernersville. He's got almost a straightaway lead on the 2nd and 3rd and 4th place cars.
Well, that's your battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th as they come through turns 3 and 4. Landis goes streaking by our camera. Here they come. Bobby Weaver and Lance Louise, followed by Paul Latier for 3rd.
Lance Louise holds on to that 2nd spot. You got that 44 car in the way. Weaver had to back off of it and no place to go. Gives Lance a break, and maybe Lance will be able to hold on to that 2nd position as we are now halfway through this heat event.
Landis with a full straightaway lead now as they head down the backstretch. That's your battle for 2nd between Bobby Weaver and Lance Louise. They're side by side off turn number 2. Lance Louise, isn't he smooth, Bill? Here goes Weaver now on the inside. Landis comes off turn 4. This is your battle for 2nd.
Definitely making Bobby Weaver earn that 2nd spot. He was not intimidated at all. Now Weaver is clearly by, and now Latier is going to try to make that same move low on the inside of Lance Louise so they go down the backstretch.
And Paul Latier moves up now. That makes Lance Louise 3rd. Here comes Landis down the front stretch and into turn number 1. Here comes your 2nd place man, Bobby Weaver, Paul Latier, and Lance Louise. There's your leader on the screen. The Camelot Restaurant's number 88 of Bobby Landis. And he is really cooking tonight. A full straightaway lead. Gets into a little trouble there with the lap traffic. And takes the 2 laps to go sign from starter Bob Hockenberry.
Lance Louise had a little bit of trouble there with the lap car, and the 2B and the 461 also were having trouble with the lap cars here a couple minutes back.
Here comes your leader off turn number 4, Bobby Landis. Takes the white flag from starter Bob Hockenberry. He still has a straightaway lead over Bobby Weaver. And it really does my heart good to see some of these low-dollar operations, Bill, run up front.
Well, the way Landis is running, he's not going to be a low dollar when it comes to feature time.
There it is, checkered flag. Bobby Landis in the Camelot Restaurant's number 88 will pick up the win. Weaver will take 2nd, Latier will take 3rd, and Lance Louise is caught on fire. Right here on the front stretch, Louise's engine goes up in fire. That's an oil fire. That's an oil fire that we're looking at there, Bill, so if they can just get a fire extinguisher on there quickly, they should be okay. As you can easily see, the flames are only on the headers. It's excess oil burning off the headers, Bill. But Louise would have had a 4th place finish until this happened. Now he'll be scored somewhere on the tail end of this heat race. This kid has had really some tough luck. And it's just about out now. In fact, I don't even think I would spray any extinguishing substance on there. Lance just simply kicks the fire out with his foot. That can be easily remedied, I believe, Bill. They get a couple of head gaskets or valve cover gaskets on there, possibly an oil breather. Oil filter sometimes explodes on these cars. So hopefully they can get that thing fixed up. But what a great job by Landis. I mean, you got to give it to him. He come out of the box a-flying here tonight.
Landis made that move on Roger Fickett right off of the fourth turn, and that was the end. Nobody saw him after that. It was all over. He was out on his own, and he's going to be a force to be reckoned with here at Port Royal Speedway.
You got to wonder if Bobby Weaver wouldn't have thought he won the race, because he'd have never saw Landis. I mean
by the time he got to the front, Landis was out and hid.
Well, they're looking at that car right now, the number 88, the Camelot Western's car, and we'll be back with the third and final qualifying heat race in the small block modified division. Okay, we're back in here at the beautiful Port Royal Speedway for tonight's 25-lap sprint car feature. I'm Johnny Strasser, along with Bill Satzler, my friend and fellow commentator, and we are about to see what I think is going to be a heck of a show tonight, Bill.
The weather's cooled off. It's going to make the engines that much more horsepower, because they're going to be able to pull in more oxygen. The track is in beautiful condition. It's going to be a fast race.
That's for sure. I was down in the pit area a little bit earlier. I talked to a couple of drivers down there, so let's swing it down to the pits. Standing here in the sprint car pits at intermission at the Port Royal Speedway with sprint car driver Gordy Button, driver of the Miller American #1 sprint car, which I think the fans are very pleased to see that car here tonight. We do fly the Miller American colors here at Port Royal, one of the few sprint car programs in the country, as a matter of fact, and you must have one of the few sprint cars that have the Miller American colors on, Gordy.
Well, we worked real hard to get it, and we've been champions up in New York State for 3 years, so that helps a little bit. So
that's for sure. I know those deals don't come together overnight. Sometimes it takes a year, a couple years sometimes.
We've worked on it for quite a while, and it's taken a lot of work. We've tried to be as professional as possible, and everything finally came together for us, but it's taken quite a while.
Well, we want to ask you how you like the Port Royal Speedway. You've had a chance to be on the track a little bit in the warm-ups and in the heat race. How do you like the track?
The track is great, especially compared to most New York State tracks. It's got bite. The tracks up home, all of them are slick. So, this is fantastic coming to a track with bite.
Probably a little bit of an adjustment you'd have to make out there, right?
Well, the biggest adjustment, see, we're used to running with a small wing, and this first time I've ever run in competition with a big wing. So that's the biggest adjustment I've had to make.
Is it an Eagle chassis?
Yeah, Eagle by Central Penn.
Okay, well, listen, we want to wish you lots of luck, and do you think we'll see you back here at Port Royal anytime during the rest of the 1987 season?
Yeah, we'll be back probably 4 times or so.
Okay, well, it's always nice to have a new car in the pits, and especially when it's flying the Miller American colors.
Thank you very much.
Good luck to you, Gordon.
Thanks.
Number 3 going into the
Here inside the Bobby Landis Camelot Westerns number 88 trailer with Bobby Landis, who is really flying tonight, and you have to be really optimistic about going into tonight's feature, Bob.
Well, I'll tell you what, John, the car really feels super tonight, and we have a good starting spot. And I'll tell you what, if everything goes our way, I feel really confident that we have a real good shot at tonight.
You have a couple second-place finishes so far this year, and last night, I guess you were on your way to what could have been your first win in the sprint car career up at out at the Lernerville Speedway, only to have a flat tire kind of spoil all the fun.
Yeah, we ran real good last night. I thought we had a shot at it last night, too, and just happened we had a flat tire with 7 to go, and that took all our chances away. But like I said, I feel real good about tonight, too, so we're going to keep plugging away, and if we can keep running good here, we're going to get one.
I know the Camelot Westerns people have to be pretty happy because since they've gotten involved with this team, all they've seen is this car up front.
Yeah, I'm really happy to have them aboard. Tim Campbell, Carl's boys, here with us tonight, and he really enjoys the racing and stuff, and I like to have, a guy that helps sponsor the car and stuff. I like when they take part in it also.
That's for sure. It gets them a little bit more interested, that's for sure. In the heat race, you really come out of the box. You got a big lead right away, real quick, and really never had anyone challenge you. You're going to still have Weaver, Latier, and I know they've got the 86 car all fixed up, ready to go for the feature event, so those guys are going to be coming.
Yeah, well, I don't know where them guys are starting at, but, we're starting up front. And you know, if you're faster in AR, it doesn't matter where you start. You know, it's where you finish. And if they're faster and start in the back, hey, they're going to get to the front. So it doesn't matter where you start; it's where you end up. That's the way I look at it.
Basically, I know those up front starting spots, you have to earn them too, right?
That's right. That's right. That's why it's really worth running hard, and you got to get in the top 4 in the heat. And, you know, then it's like you say, then you earn your starting spot.
Okay, they're pretty busy here, Bob, trying to get you ready to go for tonight's 25-lap sprint car feature, and we hope that when we get you back on the microphone, it's down the winner's circle tonight.
We're going to try awful hard, John.
Okay, good luck to you, Bobby.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay, we're back here at the Port Royal Speedway for the 25-lap sprint car feature. We'll get down over the starting lineup. On the pole, your heat race winner tonight. One of the heat race winners, the number 85, the Hanks Auto Parts car, Craig Eschenauer. And alongside him, the number 27T will be Tim Hershey.
In that second row, another heat winner tonight, and the number 88, Bob Landis. And outside of him, in the number 16, Bobby Weaver.
Okay, row number 3, we've got the number 55 of Mike Wagner starting in that 5th spot, and starting 6th in the number 461 will be Paul Latier.
And in the 4th row on the inside, number 14, very strong showing here tonight, and that's Bill Perry. And outside of him in the Miller American, number 1 is Gordy Button.
Okay, dropping back to row number 5 now, inside, 9th starting spot will be the number 66 of Roger Pickett, and alongside him in the number 17B will be Joey Borich.
And in the 6th row on the inside, in the number 35, Cowboy Jim Kennedy. Outside of him in the 2D, able to get back underway with that fire that we saw here in this heat event, and that's Lance DeWeese.
Exactly. Okay, in that 13th starting spot, in the number 10C, will be Pat Small, and alongside him, the number 4 will be Jay Bolts.
And in the 8th row, inside, the number 44, Brad Mertz. Outside, in the number 72, Ed Richard.
Dropping back now to row number 9, inside, 17th starting spot, in the number 86, the ICP sponsored car of Rick Salem. And alongside him in the number 28G, Harrisburg's favorite sprint car driver, Joey Gravino.
And in the 10th row, we've got the number 53 of Tom Chiappelli, and outside of him in the number 12, Troy Breaker.
A former super sportsman driver, I might add. Okay, your final row shapes up like this. In that 21st starting spot will be the number 22 of rookie Rod Straub out of Richfield. Make that Evendale, Pennsylvania, and alongside him, in the number 63G will be Jimmy Gieselman. So those are your 22 starters, 25 laps, the distance. And we're going to be watching Bobby Landis and Bobby Weaver. Those are 2 very powerful cars, and they're starting nearest to the front here tonight.
It'll be exciting to see which one of those drivers is able to pull off the move that they're going to need. You know, both of those guys want to get to the front in a hurry. You know, Craig Eschenauer up front, a heat winner tonight, and he's not going to want to give that away too easily. So there's not going to be an easy chore for either Landis or Weaver.
That's for sure. Now, if you were a strategist, you would have to say, if you were in Bobby Landis' shoes, let's hope Eschenauer gets moving off the green flag before Bobby Weaver scoots around the outside of anybody on that front row. Another thing Bobby may have to do is try and stick his nose under there and get those 2 front cars to move high on the racetrack, because you know Bobby Weaver's going to be standing on the gas and coming off turn 4 on that high groove.
Weaver's very good at watching that green flag drop, and he's not going to be messing around for those front drivers. If he sees Hockenberry waving the green flag, you know, his first spot he's going to be is around the outside of Hershey in a blink of an eye.
That's for sure. So you've got, you know, Bobby Landis looking for his first sprint car win, going up against 7-time feature winner here last year, Bobby Weaver. We'll be back for the waving of the green flag. Okay, the Lighty Chevrolet pace car pulls to the infield. We're just about set to go. Green flag racing. Let's see what happens. Eschenauer gets on the gas pedal along with Tim Hershey. Here comes Weaver along the outside, just like we predicted. Weaver with the lead.
Bobby Landis got caught by surprise a little bit there. Weaver wasting no time, and Eschenauer now following Weaver as they get down the backstretch.
Well, it came out just the way we said it might. Weaver around the outside and into the lead. We'll watch him as they head through turns 3 and 4. Here comes your leader, Bobby Weaver. He's going to be tough to catch.
Bobby Weaver running very strong tonight. Eschenauer runs 2nd, Landis 3rd, Paul Latier 4th. Hershey is running 5th, and Mike Wagner behind him at 6th.
Bobby Landis moves up into that 2nd spot now around Eschenauer. So does Paul Latier. It's Bobby Weaver, Bobby Landis, and Paul Latier off turn number 4. That's the rest of your field as they come off turn number 4 now. Camera wide angles will be picking up your leader, Bobby Weaver. Right there he comes on your screen now, off turn 4. Weaver, more cars, head to the pit area. Weaver, your big leader here, as he's into lap traffic already, Bill.
He's got to be really flying. I mean, we only have 2 or 3 laps in, and he's already starting to lap some of the slower cars. He's got probably a half of the turn lead on the Landis car. Paul Latier running 3rd. Ashenauer still running 4th, and Mike Wagner a strong 5th.
Right here comes Joey Gravino now off turn number 4 and down the front stretch. Gravino beginning to make a move as he swings to the inside of the number 17B of Joey Burrich.
Gravino working his way up through the back of the field. He had to start way back because of not being able to qualify in the heat event. He's already up in the 6th position on the speedway, and he's setting his sights on the number 55 of Mike Wagner.
Up front, it's still Bobby Weaver as he heads down the backstretch now. Weaver, your big leader here, up in turns 3 and 4. Here comes Weaver off turn number 4. Landis getting a good ride in that Camelot Rustler's number 88.
Landis needs to get through this traffic as smoothly as Weaver did if he wants to be able to keep up with the Bobby Weaver car.
Right now you can see Paul Latier, he runs 3rd on the speedway. Paul Latier beginning to move up now in the rear bumper of Bobby Landis. Here goes Weaver by. Weaver has a big lead in that Keystone Pretzels car. Here's your battle for 2nd.
I actually think Landis and Paul Latier got by that traffic a little bit smoother, and those 2 drivers right there are definitely battling it out hot and heavy for that 2nd spot.
So far we've gone non-stop in this 25-lap feature event. Here comes your leader, Bobby Weaver, off turn 4 and down the front stretch. There's Weaver. He's in behind more lap traffic. Tim Hershey slows down in turn number 2. Right there you see Tim Hershey, and he's going to bring out the yellow.
Tim Hershey's on the wrong side of the speedway to be able to pull into the infield. Kevin coming to a stop.
We'll keep our eye right here and hope everybody picks up Tim Hershey over on the backstretch. And so far, so good. I believe everybody knows that Hershey is sitting over there now. Tough break. Tough break for Tim Hershey. Started on the pole tonight. Actually, he started outside pole. But it's been a short race for Tim Hershey, and we'll be back with the exciting Bobby Weaver, Bobby Landis, and Paul Latier restart. Okay, we're back in here at the Port Royal Speedway. Bobby Weaver, your leader. Bobby Landis runs 2nd. Paul Latier 3rd. They pick up the pace. Green flag waves off turn number 4. Landis goes to the inside, and Weaver continues to lead off turn number 4.
This is the break that Weaver that Landis and Paul Latier needed because Weaver had built up such a very comfortable lead. Now they're going to see if they have the chance to reel him in. As they get down the backstretch, Weaver's still your leader.
Well, all the cream has surfaced to the top here now, Bill, as they come off turn number 4. It's Weaver, Landis, Latier, and it's the number 28G of Joey Gravino as he gets by Mike Wagner.
Wagner running very strong, but not able to hold off the out-horsepowered by the number 28G of Joey Gravino. Now Gravino's going to try to catch up to this 3-car battle for the lead. And Bobby Weaver leads them off at turn 4.
Well, Gravino needs another yellow light. And now they put him right up behind Paul Latier. Latier working on Landis now on the inside. Landis isn't going to give up that high groove very easily, as he's really been running strong in that 2nd spot.
Latier seems to be taking that low groove, but the car seems to jump out on him. The front of that car keeps jumping out on him. I don't know whether he's going to have to skip to the outside or whether the track's going to have to come to him. But there he goes to the inside again. Landis able to hold that momentum coming off of that 2nd turn now and still stay in that 2nd spot.
This is your real battle on the speedway now as they come off turn number 4. Bobby Landis trying to hang on to that 2nd spot. Weaver with the lead. Landis still runs 2nd. Latier works to the inside of Landis. They're side by side in turn number 1 and 2.
Bobby Landis still up on the high side of that track, being able to keep that momentum going. Latier scrubbing off a lot of speed by diving underneath. He's going to have to beat him coming into the turn if he wants to keep that lead. More lap traffic.
More lap traffic on the speedway. Landis gets by cleanly. So does Paul Latier. The race is still on for 2nd.
Both of those guys are just passing this lap traffic like nothing's even there. I mean, it's amazing. Usually you have problems getting around some of these cars, but the battle is still going on like they're the only 2 cars on the track.
Bobby Landis is going to be tough to pass as long as he stays in that groove. He's got the momentum, but now Latier has moved up his side. It's still Landis. That top groove is the place to be here at Port Royal.
Landis and Latier are running like side by side as the battle royal for these two drivers, and Landis once again able to hold off Latier down the front stretch.
Bobby Landis will not give up that second spot. He tenaciously hangs on to second. Landis knows that it's Latier now that's working on him as they head into turn number 3. Bobby Weaver, still your leader on turn number 4. We've been really watching this battle for second.
Weaver has started to run away, but he's not hit at all from these two guys, and they're just running side by side, and actually I think they're hurting themselves a little bit because they're fighting amongst themselves.
As long as Landis stays in that high groove, he's going to be able to hold them off. But if he moves down low, we got an engine expiring here on the front stretch. This could be problems. Everybody on the brake pedal, and we're going to go under caution. There you can see one of the centers that they put in these wheels to keep the mud from building up on the inside of the wheel. It's laying on the track. It came off, I believe, of a car earlier. The number 44 car has blown an engine, put a lot of oil down on the front stretch. You can see that shiny part of the track is oil, and they may have to do something about that oil situation before we go green. We're back in here at the Port Royal Speedway. The green flag waves, and off turn number 4 now, Bobby Landis moves to the inside of Bobby Weaver as they head down the front stretch and into turns 1 and 2. Landis now with the lead as they come through turns 1 and 2 and off turn 2 down the back stretch. Landis, your leader, as they head into turn number 3. Landis down the front stretch, now your new leader over Bobby Weaver. Weaver runs in that second spot, and Latier moves up now and moves. Landis continues to lead as they head off turn number 2 now and down the back stretch.
Landis, Weaver's slowing down. Latier and Landis both able to get by him. But Landis is going to come around with the white flag, and he's going to come up with it. 1 lap to go on your leader.
Bobby Landis, your leader, as they head through turns 1 and 2 on the final lap. It's the final lap of the race. Landis may be your 9th Skipper winner here at the Port Royal Speedway. Here they come. It's going to be checkered flag time for the Camelot Racers number 88, Bobby Landis.
And Latier second. Bobby Weaver's got to settle for third. Fourth is going to be the 28G of Joey Gravino. Mike Wagner holds on to fifth, and Rick Salem in the ICB number 86 is sixth.
All right, race fans, you've seen history being made here tonight. Bobby Landis, after a 7-year career in sprint car racing, he came from the late model division at Selinsgrove. He moved to Port Royal for the 1987 season. He picked up a new sponsor only 2 weeks ago, and already he's in the winner's circle here tonight.
I'll tell you, it was so electrifying, maybe that's what caused the camera to go out.
I don't
Too much
understand
electricity on the track.
We were all set to go with the restart. We came back. All we were getting was a black screen, believe it or not. This kid's been waiting 7 years to win a sprint car feature. Here he comes in the Camelot Restaurants number 88, Bobby Landis. We apologize for missing about, 5 laps of the race. We did get it back on. Fortunately, we came back in with about 3 or 4 laps to go. Landis had just taken the lead from Weaver. And look at that crew. They are ecstatic down in the winner's circle. We'll be switching it down trackside for the post-race interview, and this ought to be a good one, Bill.
Boy, I'll tell you, he's got to be happy. He actually took an extra lap around the track, and he was just gunning the engine going down the front stretch. He was probably so nervous. The foot was gone. He still wanted to keep racing. That car was running so good.
Well, I've been predicting for the last couple of weeks that this boy's going to hit the winner's circle, and it didn't take too long. There he is, your winner tonight, Bobby Landis in the Camelot Restaurants number 88.
Well, right now we got one very happy crew right down here really celebrating. Let's let him hear it while he works his way around. Frank, your winner, Bobby Landis! Well, Scoop, I'll tell you, I don't have to ask you if you're happy right now.
Oh my gosh, I just can't believe this. I thought Bobby was running fast enough. I knew I was going to get him. I had to get him on the restart. So I just raced him kind of like I've raced my whole career. You just got to keep plugging away and plugging away. One of these days you're going to get it, and it happened for us tonight.
I'll tell you what, just a great ride. You know, you and Weaver started up front there, and Bobby seemed to be taking off, but after the restart, you stayed right with him the one time, and then you took your shot up here and you got him.
Yeah, we just worked the top, and like I said, we figured we had to get him on a restart. I want to thank all my sponsors. I want to thank Camelot Country Western, Gano Motors, Landis Service Center, Barry Signs, everybody, and the guys on the crew. They all pitch in. They work super hard at it. Here we are.
Well, it was just a matter of time, Bob. You told me last night at Lernerville you thought you had one coming last night and had a flat tire.
This is true. We almost had one last night, but I kind of thank the good Lord now that we could win in front of the hometown crowd. And I got to say, we raced Selinsgrove for a lot of years, and you people here are super. You treat us good here, and we're really glad to be back here.
Well, we're certainly glad to have you, and we want to congratulate you one more time on a super ride. We've got a dinner for you from the Stop 35. We've got Fred Ryan over here. He's got a case of Miller beer. You might be able to use that. And we've also got Miss Port Royal Speedway, Susie Schiffer. She's got a hat for you, a Miller Racing hat. And also, she'll slip in here. How about it one more time for your winner tonight, Bobby Landis? Maybe, Bob, we can also get the people from Camelot Country. Are they here tonight?
I think Tim's around here somewhere.
Well, let's get the whole gang in here one more time. Bobby Landis, your winner.
Okay, that was your winner circle interview with our track announcer Ken Stahl and our new winner again here tonight at the Port Royal Speedway. These new faces just keep popping up in the winner circle here.
Speaking of new faces, look at all the faces down in Victory Lane. I haven't seen that many people down there. I can't remember seeing that many people. Look at all the Bobby Landis fans who've come out there along the judges stand there, looking at the car and the crew. They've got to be, everybody's rooting for this guy.
I'll tell you what, it's good to see a Juniata County car win at a Juniata County Speedway, that's for sure. I don't think a Juniata County car has won here at Port Royal since the days of the K33 and Keith Kaufman. So who knows, maybe Bobby's ready to fill those shoes.
Hey, listen, he was really strong tonight. Weaver made one mistake, you know, and Landis was right there to take advantage of it, and that was it, you know, and Latier got by him too, but and Landis never let Latier get as close as they were running earlier in the feature.
That's for sure. Once he smelled that checkered flag, it was all over. He cruised by Latier. We're only sorry that we had our little problem here in the booth, but we were able to get it back on for the last couple of laps, and we rode around with Bobby Landis as he won his first sprint car feature, and it comes here at Port Royal Speedway, the home track. There's the happy crew, and I'll tell you what, it's going to be a while before they forget this night, Bill.
Well, let's hope that they get back in there more often this year. I mean, it's got to happen. As fast as that car is running, they've gone professional racing now. They're going to put full time. They've got $2,500. A lot of money now in their pocket to buy the things that they need to put on that car. And I mean, the car's running fast now.
You're referring to the feature win money tonight,
right.
$2,000. So, okay, we congratulate him on a great job here tonight. Our feature winner, Bobby Landis, will be back with a small block modified feature. Okay, we're back in here at the Port Royal Speedway. We're just about set to go with our small block modified feature event, as we'll get down over the starting lineup. Starting on the poles, number 17P of Terry Peters, and alongside him in car number 1A will be Carmen Perigo.
And in the second row on the inside, tough break in the sprint feature for Bobby Weaver, but he's going to be jumping into small block modified in the inside of that front second row, and outside of him in the 5G, Dave Garrison.
Okay, dropping back to row number 3, row number 3, starting position number 5 will be filled by the number 7 of Scott Irwin, and alongside him, last week's new feature winner, Bob Fiddler in the number 2B.
And in the fourth row on the inside, the number 85 of Bobby Gerhardt Jr. And outside of that fourth row in the 8th starting position, the number 86 of heat winner tonight, Elvin Feldy.
Okay, dropping back to the next row, be the 5th row inside, 9th starting position. In car number 1 will be Tom Mayberry, and alongside him in the number 3 will be Mike Nicholas.
And in the 6th row on the inside, the number 27A of Bones Anderson. And in 12th position, outside of that 6th row, the 5M, running very strong tonight, Ed Miller.
Okay, dropping back to the next row, which would be row number 7, inside starting position. In car number 72 will be John Winter. And alongside him in that 14th spot will be the number 77 of Scott Schaefer.
And in that 8th row on the inside, the 3C of Chris Breithoff. And the number 52 outside will be Tim Schell.
Okay, in that 9th row inside, 17th starting spot, the number 66 will be Gene Roth. And alongside him in car number 59 will be Carl Davis.
In the 10th row, on the inside, the number 91 of Ralph Brightbill, and outside, the number 20, or in the 20th position, number 27L, Tommy Long.
Okay, dropping back to the next row, which would be row number 11 in the inside, and 21st starting spot would be the number 39, Richie Hartman, and alongside him in car number XR7 will be Jeff Baumberger.
And in the final row, the 12th row on the inside will be the number 45 of Keith Crumbo, and outside the number 6 of Bill Deming.
Those are your 24 starters, 25 laps to distance. $1,000 awaits the winner, and we'll be back with the waving of the green flag. Okay, we're back in here for the small block modified feature event, and my lungs are almost shot already over that sprint car feature. Let's see what happens. Starter Bob Hockenberry waves the green flag. Terry Peters and Carmen Perigo will bring them off turn number 4.
Peters with an early jump is going to lead them down to the front stretch. Weaver and Carmen Perigo are side by side going into turn 1.
Everybody storms through turns 1 and 2 and head down the backstretch now. We've got Terry Peters on the point of this star-studded field. We've got a yellow light coming out for a problem down in turns 1 and 2. We can't get a lens on it from here. Hopefully our corner cameraman picked it up, and we'll be back with the restart. Okay, we're back in here at the Port Royal Speedway. I believe this is an original restart. We had no laps completed. It is, as the cars go back to their original assigned positions. Bob Hockenberry waves the green flag, and once again, Perigo and Peters bring them down the front stretch.
Carmen didn't get caught by surprise this time, and able to stay on the outside of the 17P, and now we've got Weaver. No, that's Davey Garrison trying to make it 3 abreast there. And look at the green coming to the top here. There's Mayberry on the inside of Peters' car. Perigo goes high, and Mayberry just drives right through that opening there into the lead.
Okay, and the car up in the front from turn 3. There you see it on your screen, Gene Roth. In car number 66, he brings it back down onto the solid racetrack. Camera wide angles now. There's your battle as they head down the backstretch. Look at that battle, and now we're going yellow. Evidently, we lost a car somewhere else on the speedway, but the yellow lights are on, so that'll reset it up here. I believe they do have a lap in. We'll have to wait and see. Your leader right now, if they do have a lap in, would be Tom Mayberry in the Zemco number 1. And I'm telling you, it's a mad dash the rest of the way back through the pack. Everybody's up there. Everybody wants to get on the rear bumper of Tom Mayberry.
Perigo left the door open. Mayberry said, thank you very much, and Peters went right by him too. So if this is a restart with a couple of laps in, that's going to be a mistake that Perigo's going to regret.
Ain't that the truth? We'll be back for the waving of the green flag.
Okay, we're back, and that is, we're going with Mayberry's taking the outside of that front row, so we did have some laps in. Perigo's back in the second row. We're coming down for the green flag. Starter Bob Hockenberry is waving the green flag, and Mayberry is pulling away once again down into the first turn. Peters manages to hold on to second, and then you got Weaver and Garrison battling it out for that third spot.
Boy, and Perigo gets high in turn number 2 and comes to a stop. And his luck has been anything but good here in this feature event. So he's went from first to worst here, I guess you could say. It looks like something's broken on the front of that race car. We'll be back with the restart. Okay, we're back in here at the Port Royal Speedway for yet another restart. Terry Peters has somehow or other hung on to that second spot. He's got a lot of fast company up front with him. Here comes your leader, Tom Mayberry, off turn number 4. Mayberry will lead. Weaver runs second. Moving up quickly now is Elvin Farley and the number 5G of Dave Garrison. They run 4th and 5th on the speedway. Bobby Gerhardt Jr. also coming from the back, along with Scott Irwin and the number 3.
I think that's Breithoff, Chris Breithoff.
Right, Chris Breithoff.
Tom Mayberry and Bobby Weaver now running 1-2, and Elvin Brody now into third. Bill Peters is still holding off Dave Garrison and Bobby Gerhardt for that 4th spot.
one of his best showings so far here at Port Royal Speedway. We're actually filming the first and second turn off the top of his trailer. So we gotta hope he does good tonight, Bill.
But if he does good tonight, I'm sure Andy will be up there every night. Peters is still running for it. Dave Garrison hit Bobby Gerhardt and down into the fence. That's a hard hit.
Bobby Gerhardt Jr. Bobby Gerhardt Jr. hits very hard in turn number 2, and it looked like he might have caught a wheel, somebody's wheel coming off the turn, and just really you lose total control of your race car when that happens. Till you can regain control, you're only on a 60-foot racetrack, and it's too late.
Yeah, you're gonna hit something. You're gonna hit the fence by the time you get a chance to correct anything like that. And they're right down on the power, just coming out of that turn, trying to get that thing going straight again. So you're still kind of sliding a little bit.
That's
so
right.
It makes it even more difficult.
There you see the push truck. I think it's going to take more than a push truck for Bobby Gerhardt Jr. And we'll be back with the restart. Okay, we're back in here at the Port Royal Speedway. And we've got a heck of a race going here in this small block division also, fans. Right now we've got Tom Mayberry on the point of this field. He's chosen the outside groove. No big surprise. Alongside of him is Bobby Weaver in the Keystone Pretzels number 16. And hey, Weaver got passed on, coming down the front stretch on the restart. Maybe he can shoot into the lead in the small block division here and come away with at least one win tonight.
Yeah, the cream has definitely risen to the top. Elvin Feldy there in the second row, along with Peters. Surprise, but a very strong showing for the 17P car. And then right behind them, we've got Dave Garrison, a former feature winner last year, not this year yet, but looking for a feature win. The number 3C, a Ford-powered car of Chris Breithoff in that third row. So
he ran strong last week, remember? That battle royale for third position there for quite a while. And
that's true. So they're starting to get their car back together again. And
I'll tell you what, racing is kind of speed and all that has to do with racing is kind of relevant, And we're seeing a lot of new talent here at Port Royal Speedway, and I'm predicting that when the Outlaws come in here, they're going to have their hands full with the Port Royal regulars.
Okay, and here we come up the fourth turn, and Mayberry and Weaver side by side. Weaver not giving away any room, and they're side by side as they go into turn 1. Mayberry pulls away though, and he stayed on the outside, so picking that outside starting spot definitely has helped him there.
A lot of action beginning to happen on back the pack now with Dave Garrison and Scott Irwin battling for those 5th, 6th, and 7th positions. Here comes Mayberry, your leader, followed by Weaver and Feldy.
Yeah, there's a big battle going on there. It's probably 5, 6, 7 cars there battling for that 4th, 5th, 6th position. Irwin now finally getting by Dave Garrison, and now we can see the Breithoff, that's Chris Breithoff, they're getting by the Peters car, and he's now moved into 4th.
Right there's your battle on the screen in the back of the pack now. That could be Mike Nicholas in the number 3 car. There's 2 3s on the track. They're painted almost identical. So we'll try and get it straightened out this time. You may be right, Billy. That may be Chris Breithoff. We'll check. Okay, I believe it is the number 3 of Mike Nicholas running in that 3rd position now. Make that the 4th position. Mike Nicholas in 4th. Here comes your 3 leaders. Tom Mayberry, Bobby Weaver, and Elvin Feldy. Those 3 are getting to run away from the field.
And Mike Nicholas, now that he's finally worked his way through the pack, is starting to open up a little bit of room there on Terry Peters. And the number 7 of Scott Irwin, along with Dave Garrison and Ed Miller now. Moving past Dave Garrison into I think it's something like 6th position on the track.
Okay, we watch that battle between Peters and the number 7 of Scott Irwin as they head down the front stretch. Our leaders are over on the back stretch and are heading into turn number 3 now. We'll watch this battle as it develops off turn number 2. Mike Nicholas runs all alone on the speedway in that 4th spot.
He's kind of sitting in the cradle here with the 3 front runners running nose to tail, and then him by himself. And then we got this battle right here. There's Peters Peters and Irwin running side by side, and then right behind him again, we got a problem. Peters spins around.
And looked like he may have had a little bit of help. It looked like he got broadside going into the turn, and whoever was directly behind him just couldn't get out of the throttle quick enough. Cars came together. Peters setting in behind the tower, and hopefully we're getting a shot of that from our corner cameraman. And we'll be back with the restart. Okay, we're back here at the Port Royal Speedway. We have 9 laps in the record books. On your leader, Tom Mayberry, and Bobby Weaver flanks him. Let's see what happens as they get the green flag up in turns 3 and 4. It's a side-by-side race off that 4th turn, but now Mayberry takes the advantage.
Yeah, the outside of that front rail is definitely working to Mayberry's advantage tonight. Now Weaver following suit, moving high side on the speedway, and Elvin Feldy is going to have to settle for that 3rd spot on the speedway.
They head into turn number 3 now. Your leader, Tom Mayberry, looking for win number 2 here at the Port Royal Speedway. And now Mike Nicholas comes up with a problem. Nicholas just to a stop up at turn number 4.
Looks like he's got a flat tire on the left rear of that car if the camera zooms in. Or maybe not.
I was rather impressed with the way he alertly just drove the car high on the speedway, brought it to a stop well out of harm's way. That is a sign of a very intelligent race driver. He was able to protect his equipment and not endanger anybody else's. And he'll head to the pit area now, and possibly the car just jumped out of gear. Who knows? We'll be back with the waving of the green flag and the restart. Okay, we're back in here at the Port Royal Speedway with 10 laps complete now and 15 to go. On your leader, Tom Mayberry. Can Bobby Weaver do anything with Tom Mayberry? Mayberry with the horsepower and the groove off turn number 4. He'll still be your leader when they get to turn number 1.
Weaver protects his position on the speedway by immediately moving up onto the outside of that track and holding on to second, and there's a battle royal going on behind him for that 3rd spot. Elvin Feldy is on the inside. Dave Garrison now on the outside.
Feldy moves up to 3rd as Garrison slips high on the speedway. Here comes
turn 3.
Right there you see kind of the aftermath, or the aftershock, I should say, of that incident up there.
It looked like Bones Anderson got sideways initially, and everybody did a good job. I don't think there was too much in the way of contact there, but there was a lot of cars jammed up into that speedway.
We got another car on around in turn number 3. Right there, you'll pick it up on your screen. That car, I think, just spun to avoid the accident, and we'll be back with yet another restart. Okay, we're back in here at the Port Royal Speedway after a pretty lengthy delay. We had a bunch of cars involved up there in turn number 3, plus a couple of flat tires. We had to wait on those. And finally, we're back under green with your leader, Tom Mayberry. Bobby Weaver took a look on the inside, and Feldy now running really close to Weaver in that 3rd spot.
Yeah, Mayberry definitely had a little bit of a scare there. Weaver definitely showed his front bumper past Mayberry's car, but that outside groove is the place to be.
There you see the battle on your screen between Elvin Feldy and the 5 of Dave Garrison. Feldy's wheel looks to be a little bit loose, and Garrison moves right in.
Mayberry and Weaver now going down the backstretch. Feldy trying to hang on to the lead 2 cars in 3rd. Dave Garrison runs 4th, Ed Miller 5th, Scott Irwin 6th, and Carmen Perigo is running 7th.
All the way back up to 7th from the rear of the field. There you see the French runners come down the front stretch. Ed Miller in the number 5. He rides in that 5th spot. And camera swings around. There's our leader, Tom Mayberry, as Mayberry heads into turn number 3 now. Mayberry has been your leader since the outset. Weaver's run 2nd. Feldy is running 3rd. That's Dave Garrison.
Garrison in 4th. Not able to pick up a feature win yet this season, and he's looking at 3 guys in front of him now that have already been there, so it's a tough situation for him. I mean, he's running as hard as he can, but you've got 3 guys out there with a lot of money in their cars. Battling him out for the first 3 positions. Weaver and Feldy now are nose to tail. Weaver running on that high side. Alvin Feldy trying to look down on the inside once again as they go down the backstretch.
The real race on your screen is for that second spot, as everybody else has a lot of distance between them. This is your battle right here for that second position.
Weaver's got to know that if he makes one mistake, Alvin Feldy's going to be by him, and it'll be a bad situation for him because this track is turning into a one-groove track in the turns especially, so you've got to be right on that lip and right in the right spot every time around.
There you see him head through turns 1 and 2. Bobby Weaver hanging on to that second spot. Alvin Feldy runs third. Paul Mayberry has been the class of the field here tonight. Mayberry with that lead comes through turns 3 and 4 and down the front stretch. A lot of live traffic on the track. And Weaver actually pulled away from Feldy a little bit by virtue of the lap traffic.
Yeah, that lap traffic forced Weaver to the outside, and Feldy, who's trying to work down lower on that turn 3 and 4, definitely had no place to go and had to reposition himself and lost a little bit of momentum.
Here comes Tom Mayberry down the front stretch. We're following. Mayberry completing yet another lap as the flagman Bob Hockenberg gives the layover flag for the lap traffic to move over as Mayberry continues to lead. There's your battle for second as it rages on between Bobby Weaver and Alvin Feldy. A straightaway back is your fourth place car, Dave Garrison.
This could be interesting here because Richie Hartman did not pull over on the track to allow Mayberry by. Mayberry had to take him low going into turns 3 and 4, and he's still running up on that groove, and he's got Weaver and Feldy coming up on him real quick, and let's see what happens as Weaver now is going to have to duck to the inside as well.
Weaver takes the inside road, so does Feldy. Feldy now right on the rear bumper of Bobby Weaver as they come off turn number 4. They're side by side nearly as they come down the front stretch, and we got another yellow. So as we scan the speedway here, we can't pick it up. We'll be back with the restart. Okay, we're back in here at the Port Royal Speedway. We went to single file restart order now, so we're past the halfway point. We'll pick it up with your leader, Tom Mayberry, in the Zemco Machine Shop number 1.
Mayberry definitely appears to be the class of the field right now. He's had the lead since the beginning of the race. No one's really been able to challenge him. He's been, he's not run away from anybody, but he's been right, in a position where
anything can happen.
Anything can happen, that's right.
Okay, we'll watch your top 3 off turn number 4. Mayberry, Weaver, and Feldy as they head down the front stretch. Dave Garrison holds down that 4th spot all alone. And it's Ed Miller, followed by Scott Irwin, Carmen Perigo. And all the way back up from the rear, the number 3.
Mike Nicholas.
And Mike Nicholas.
And the 3C of Chris Bridhoff, and they're definitely similar colored cars.
Those are 3 leaders as they head down the front stretch. They put a lot of real estate on Dave Garrison, your 4th place man. We're back with this battle again here between Alvin Feldy and Bobby Weaver. Weaver continues to hold on to second. Feldy trying to use the high groove. There ain't much of a cushion up there. He brings it down on the inside. He actually moved in a little bit on Bobby Weaver.
They continue the battle for that second spot. Weaver holding the upper hand. Alvin Feldy working everything he can. He's trying to jump off of that cushion down here in turns 3 and 4 and beat him coming out of the turn or get some kind of advantage down low.
That seems to be the game plan, Bill. We'll watch him as they come off turn 4 once again. Slides right up on the rear bumper of Weaver, but he just doesn't seem to have enough horsepower with 2 laps to go.
I think Alvin's going to have to try that move a little bit later in the turn because he still has to get around that 4th turn, and it gets him to go a little bit sideways more. So let's see if he stays up higher. He is way high this time.
And look how he cuts down to the inside. Still to no avail, and they'll still run third as they go under the white flag. 1 more lap to go, and your leader, Tom Mayberry. Mayberry with about a 10-car length lead as they head down the backstretch. That's your battle for second on the screen. Camera wide angles now. We'll pick up your leader, Tom Mayberry, off turn number 4. It's going to be Tom Mayberry, your winner, and Bobby Weaver will take second.
Alvin Feldy's got to settle for third. Very frustrating third for him. Fourth is going to be Dave Garrison. Ed Miller is going to be 5th. And I believe that's Mike Nicholas who's running in that 6th spot, followed by Scott Irwin, and then the number 1A of Carmen Perigo, and then the 3C of Chris Brithoff.
Those are your top 10 cars as they come across the finish line. So, Tom Mayberry will be a repeat winner. He'll join Elvin Feldy as a repeat winner here at the Port Royal Speedway in the small block modified division. We saw this car in Victory Lane a lot last year with Bobby Weaver at the helm, and Mayberry took over the ride for the 1987 season and has really been tough to beat when he's been running, and he was running tonight. So we'll switch it down trackside for the post-race interview with our winner tonight in the small block division, Tom Mayberry, and our track announcer, Ken Stahl.
Well, Tom, I gotta say that was absolutely one flawless ride out there tonight.
Yeah, I thought we were in a marathon there for a while. It took so long to get the checkers.
Certainly was a long one, but I'll tell you what, you put on a great move there at the start. You started inside the 5th row and somehow weaved your way to the front.
Well, we weren't sure what the track was going to get like. They said they started preparing it different, so I wanted to get to the front as quick as I could.
Well, it certainly worked for you. We got to ask you about the track conditions. You were here earlier this year. Have you noticed any difference tonight?
Yeah, it seemed like the track held up a lot better tonight than it did the first couple of weeks. First couple of weeks it was rough, and then it got real hard and black. And tonight it seemed real nice.
Well, we're certainly glad to hear that. The crew put a lot of work into the Speedway this week, and I'm sure you got a crew that put a lot of work into this car this week.
Yeah, I'd like to thank the crew and John Zemaitis, the owner of Zemco Incorporated.
You're certainly having a good year so far. I know you have 2 here and also at Penn National, so you seem to be having a good year so far.
Yeah, we're having a pretty good year with a small block so far.
Okay, Tom, once again, we got a gift for you from the Stop 35 for your efforts here. Susie Schiffer's going to work her way into the picture. She's got a case of Miller beer from Ryan's Distributing in Vernon, Pennsylvania. Also another Miller hat. And Tom, once again, congratulations on a job well done.
Well, there you have it from Tom Mayberry, our small block modified feature winner for the 2nd time here at the Port Royal Speedway. Right now, he has to go in the record books along with Elvin Feldy as the only other repeat winner here at Port Royal in this small block division. And haven't we certainly seen a lot of different winners here at Port Royal this year?
It's good to see the tight competition in both divisions. You know, we've got 6 or 7 different winners in the small blocks. Now, I guess it's what? 8?
I believe 8 or
9 different winners in the sprints, you know, and when people like Bob Landis come in here and dust off the Weavers and the Tiers and the top dollar teams, you know, it's exciting for the fans as well. You know, ourselves, we're both, you know, rooting for Landis. And
in a sense, yeah, you have to because he's the underdog, right?
Yeah.
But we like Weaver too. We like all the drivers here at Port Royal, no doubt about that. But, you know, it's like I think what you're trying to say is, Bill, you know, you somehow or other, you have a gut feeling for these guys that are coming up. You know, you want to see everybody visit the winner's circle. I think it's good for racing, like you say. It's good for the fans, and it's certainly good for tape sales.
Yes, and it's good for the Speedway to be able to put on the kind of show where you're going to have, you know, you're not going to have the same guy in the victory circle every night, and it makes for some exciting racing.
That's for sure. Well, the Screaming Street Stalkers are just now coming out onto the Speedway, and they'll be up next. We'll be back with the waving of the green flag on the Screaming Port Royal Street Stalkers. Okay, we're back in here at the Port Royal Speedway for the Screaming Street Stalkers, and we've got a pack of them here tonight. We'll go down over the starting lineup. Scheduled to start on the pole, but having problems already is the number 22 of Stu Miller, and alongside him in car number 16 will be Larry Turman.
In that 2nd row on the inside, the number 8 of Doug Brown, and outside of him in the number 90, Larry Lau.
Okay, dropping back to row number 3 now, and the 5th starting spot will be the number 88 of George Turman. And you may remember, Bill, last weekend, George Turman had a little incident over here on the backstretch, and evidently he's made all the necessary repairs, and he's back on the track. Let's wish the best for George Turman. Starting alongside George in car number 1 will be Dave Browse.
In the 4th row on the inside, the 00 of Ron Ewart. And outside the 4th row in the 8th starting position, number 89, a 4-time feature winner here, Warren Campbell.
Warren Campbell is actually undefeated here at Port Royal Speedway. He won the first night he came here, and he's been winning ever since. Who knows what will happen tonight? We'll have to see. He's going to have to do it from that 8th starting position. Starting 9th will be the number 83 of Bobby Geis, who's been kind of the runner-up man here at Port Royal behind Warren Campbell, and alongside Geis in car number 26. This man has a feature win to his credit here at Port Royal out of Evendale, Pennsylvania, Rod Strout.
In the 6th row, on the inside, in 11th starting position, we have the number 2 of Jeff Rayson, and outside of him in the B7, that's Barry Haubrick.
Okay, dropping back to row number 7 now. Inside in that 13th starting spot will be the number 46 of David Bousman. And alongside him in car number 99 will be Ralph Heinzelman.
In the 8th row, on the inside, in the 15th starting position, in the 17th junior car. Very nice looking paint job on that car, and let's see if it runs as well as the Scott Wilson. And outside of him in the number 50 is Henry Albright, or Albert.
Okay, and rounding out the field in car number 17, starting in the 17th spot, ironically, the number 17 car, Mike Rabold, I believe it is, R-A-B-O-L-D, Rabold. So Mike has a long way to go, 16 cars in front of him. And there we have a problem with the number 17 car, I believe, of Scott Wilson. That's a brand new car. And we're going to go green flag. No, we're not. We're getting the yellow. For a minute there, I don't think they picked up the number 17 of Scott Wilson. So they'll go around one more time, and we'll be back with the waving of the green flag. Okay, we're back in here at the Port Royal Speedway for the start of our 15-lap street stock contest. Can Warren Campbell make it 5 in a row? He's got the competition out there tonight. Let's see what happens off turn number 4. And it almost looks like a...
Oklahoma land run.
You better believe it. I was going to say it looks like the start of an enduro race, as a lot of these drivers have come from the enduro ranks.
Davey Brown got a little excited there, stepped on the gas and got sideways, and he's doing the same thing again this time.
That's Warren
That's
Campbell.
Warren Campbell already in the lead. We haven't even completed a lap, so he definitely knows how to get through the cars, you know.
Through the traffic.
Through the traffic.
Okay, here we go. Off turn number 4. Warren Campbell, your leader. George Turman runs in that second spot. Here comes the rest of the pack down the front stretch. Pretty good field of street stockers on hand here tonight. George Turman running in that second position. Now that car was formerly driven by your leader, Warren Campbell. That car has a lot of feature wins to its credit here at Port Royal.
Quietly.
And Turman right now has that car in that second spot.
Yeah, those cars both very familiar in victory lane, and both those cars handling quite well. So maybe Warren, you know, did the handling, set up that car for George Turman.
Whoa, trouble in turns 1 and 2. Got a chain reaction type accident down there.
Traffic jam.
And we'll be back with the restart. Okay, we're back here at the Port Royal Speedway. That little incident in turn number 3 all cleared away. And Warren Campbell, your leader from that 8th starting spot, has been leading George Turman in the number 88 as they get the green flag and head down the front stretch. There you're looking at the tail end of the field. Camera swings around. We'll pick up your leaders down in turn number 2. Warren Campbell and the number 88 of George Turman. Turman is really hanging on tough here, as really the number 89 car of Warren Campbell hasn't really outdistanced him very much.
Turman's got to be real happy with the run and performance he's doing tonight, because last week he was climbing the backstretch fence, you know, and I'm sure they had a lot of repairs on that car, and obviously they did a lot of things right, because he's running very strong in the second spot, comfortably ahead of Bobby Geis in the number 83 and Ron Ewart in the 00.
And once again, we go back under a yellow light condition here for the number 17 car up in turn 3. And that's Scott Wilson. And Scott experiencing some problems with that new car tonight. And we'll pick it back up with the restart and your leader, Warren Campbell. Okay, we're back in here at the Port Royal Speedway. The situation in turn number 3 all cleared up. We're ready to go back green flag racing with your leader, Warren Campbell, who has jumped from that 8th starting spot into the lead and has been leading since the outset. George Turman getting a great ride in that number 88 car, running in 2nd position.
And Bobby Geis in the 83 running the high side. It looks like he's going to make a move here on the outside of George Turman as they go down the backstretch side by side. Into turn 3, it's going to get a little crowded, but Turman says, no way, I'm leading the pack into the turn 3 here, and shuts the door on the 83 of Bobby Geis.
Okay, Turman now, right dead center on the speedway, brings him down the front stretch. There you're looking at the number 50 car, and that car is being driven by Henry Albert, one of the new drivers here tonight in the street stock division. That battle continues to rage on there between George Turman and Bobby Geis. So far, in the last couple of weeks, it's been Warren Campbell out in front. Bobby Geis has finished 2nd a bunch of times, but now George Turman has surfaced as one of the hot dogs here in the street stock division.
Turman's often looked real strong, but he's had, problems like last week, getting into the fence and whatnot, but if he can keep it together tonight, he's going to be very satisfied, I think, for a 2nd finishing position.
That's for sure. I mean, 2nd's as close as you can get without winning, and Warren Campbell has been the paragon of the field here so far in this 1987 season at Port Royal. Geis gets out of shape on the front stretch, but he brings it back under control, maintains that 3rd position, and George Turman continues to run 2nd on the speedway.
Turman's got his car set on the track, and Geis wants to run the same groove, and you just can't do that. And there you can see
a battle beginning to develop here. In fact,
just behind Bobby Geis,
Jeff Rayson has moved around the
00 Ron Ewart.
Right, as they come off turn 4, Rayson has the right last name, that's for sure. Jeff Rayson in car number 2. And he begins to get into the hunt here. Meanwhile, up front, Warren Campbell has a gigantic lead over the rest of the field. Here comes Campbell off turn number 4. We'll have to give him a little bit of video time here as he comes down the front stretch. He's a very uninteresting leader at this point, really way out in front, nobody around him as he brings that number 89 off turn number 2.
We're halfway through this feature event, and you're very correct. Warren is getting a lonely kind of a driver. Down in the backstretch, we got Bobby Geis and George Turman side by side going into that 3rd turn. We got a lap car. It looks like Turman's going to have to back out of it a little bit. And Geis now has moved into 2nd position. Now, George had to waste a little bit of speed going around that lap car. Let's see if he can get back in front of Geis. I mean, he definitely showed before that he knew how to lead Geis around this track.
That's for sure, but he's been relegated to 3rd right now by Bobby Geis. Jeff Rayson runs in that 4th spot in a car that was formerly driven by Terry Gosshorn here at the Speedway. Still has the Salvage 1 colors on it, as a matter of fact. They were actually complaining a little bit, we heard in the pit area, about this number 1 car, or number 2 car rather, that it had weight jacks in the rear suspension. And we haven't really heard anything about it since. We just heard that the car had weight jacks, which would be illegal in this class, as far as we understand it. But right here comes right there's your leader, incidentally, Warren Campbell in the number 89.
Well, Warren even admitted that this class is
Whoa,
a little
trouble
bit out
here
of
on the
control.
front stretch. And he's all over the track in that number 2 car, Jeff Rayson.
Speaking of out of control, Rayson having a little bit of problem there coming off of that 4th turn and almost hit the inside of the front stretch wall.
It almost looked like the steering wheel may have actually flew out of his hands. He had a hard time getting that car recollected. Warren Campbell's at one end of the track, and Bobby Geis, who runs 2nd, at the other end of the speedway. There goes Geis. He runs 2nd. George Turman hangs on for 3rd. Then it's Jeff Rayson in the number 2 car, and he's getting some heat from the number 50. Our new driver here tonight, Henry Albert. So Henry finding his way around the Port Royal Speedway very, very well here tonight.
I believe we've got 2 laps to go on the leader, Warren Campbell. Once again, Warren showing his that he is the class of this field here in the street stock division. For feature win number 5, he can hold it together for 1.5 more laps. Racing here on the front stretch is definitely having
problems. Okay, we'll pick it up with Warren Campbell. off turn number 4. He's been the leader since lap number 1, and he's only got one more lap to go. We'll swing it around now off turn number 4 as Campbell's all alone on the speedway. And we'll pick up your second place man. Right here comes Bobby Geis. He runs second at the other end of the speedway. George Turman runs third. Okay, we'll pick it up now. Swinging back to turn number 4 once again. That's the way it is, fans. They're at opposite ends of the racetrack. Here comes your winner, the number 89 of Warren Campbell, picking up win number 5 here at Port Royal. Camera swings around now out of turn number 4. This is your second place man, Bobby Geis. We'll let him exit the picture. Finishing third is the number 88 of George Turman. Fourth will be the number 50. That car being driven by Henry Albert, first time here tonight at Port Royal. And he'll be followed by Ron Ewart in the 00 and Jeff Rayson in car number 2. Those are your top finishers in this kind of a marathon event here, the street stock feature.
Warren makes it look so easy. It's like he's in a different class than the rest of these guys.
Yeah, right. He's almost in a different time zone or a different zip code or
He
something.
was almost in a different zip code, that's for sure.
Well, we congratulate Warren Campbell on another fine performance here at the Port Royal Speedway. I think they're going to almost have to import somebody to give Campbell a run for it here. Last week, I mean, Geis wasn't that far back, but Geis, you know, he was in traffic most of this event, while Campbell just had the lead all to himself. I'll tell you, I got to give a lot of credit to George Turman. I mean, these guys started out from scratch, the Turman racing team, and they bought a car off of Warren.
They made the right move by buying a proven winner.
That really does give you a heck of a head start. You know, you can learn a lot of things on your own, but it takes a while. If you buy a proven winner, you know, that gets you at least competitive, and then you can take it from there. Warren Campbell's in the winner's circle for the 5th time. We're going to switch it down trackside for the post-race interview.
Okay, Warren working his way around here again. Another fine job tonight, Warren. You started back there in the middle of the pack, but you somehow weaved your way to the front there on the first lap.
Well, I tell you what, that coming off the 4th turn that first time, I wish this car would have been about another 5 foot skinnier to try and get through there, but, you know, we got through, we're lucky, we didn't touch anybody, and, you know, like I said, you know, we had a real good time here tonight. We want to thank all our sponsors, everybody else here, and a couple people mentioned something to me tonight. My wife's not here. Well, we're going to say something right now. There's been a lot of rumors going around that I come down here because I'm afraid to race against Steve Zeiders. Well, we beat Steve Zeiders the first night out with the car at Selinsgrove on Saturday night. We come down here to Port Royal Wednesday night and we beat him again. So there's been a lot of rumors going around right now. My brother will put up $100. Steve Zeiders comes down to Port Royal, beats me, and I finish.
Well, that's very interesting, Warren. It's a challenge for Steve Zeiders. Maybe we'll get him here. We'll take a look at it. Maybe we'll kick him a little money from the Speedway to put up a little bonus to see if anybody can come in here and beat you other than Steve Zeiders. Who knows? You're certainly hooked up, and I'll tell you, there could have been a lot of cars here tonight, and I don't think you'd have been beat because you won by half a track.
Well, I knew George Turman was behind me, Bud signaled to me the one time, and then I darn near fell asleep on that one restart. Bob threw the yellow lights off, and I was just right in the middle of the backstretch, and oh boy. But, you know, we pulled that off good, but, you know, I say the car's working good, and, you know, like I said, you know, we want to thank everybody, Fred Grimes, Stop 35, Lorenzo's Corner Deli, everybody, you know, Gray's Automotive, everybody that's kicked it into this division. We really need the help, and we do appreciate it.
Okay, Warren, I've got another dinner for you from the Stop 35. We'll also get Fred Ryan in here once again. Fred's got another case of Miller beer for you on a fine evening here at the Port Royal Speedway. Fred working his way in here right now. Once again, congratulations on a job well done. You're a true professional and an outstanding gentleman, Warren Campbell.
Okay, there you see the juggernaut of the street stock division here at the Port Royal, and the pilot of that fantastic running number 89 car, Warren Campbell. And Warren always has an interesting comment in the winner's circle.
And now he's willing to put up a bounty, or his brother's going to put up some kind of a bounty to Steve Zeiders in particular.
He wants
to come back and say, hey, Steve, I can, you know, if I finish this feature event, you're not going to finish ahead of me.
That's what he's saying. You know, $100 coming from the Campbell Racing team. It's kind of a challenge. definitely an open challenge. Come beat me. If you can do it, I'll give you an extra $100. So, and our Speedway announcer, Ken Stoll, said, hey, maybe they'll even throw a little money into, possibly just put an open bounty on him, to see what they can do to get somebody in here to give Warren Campbell a race. Campbell's been the dominant force here in street stock racing at Port Royal since he arrived. So we'll see what happens in the coming weeks. But somehow or other, you got to kind of be plugging for Warren. He's the man on top right now. He's supported the Speedway. So let's hope that Warren can stay off any challengers that arrive here for the next couple of weeks at least.
The way he's driving right now, it's going to take a very strong effort by Steve Zeiders or anybody to be watching Warren in the rearview mirror.
That's for sure. Okay, it's been a great night here at the Port Royal Speedway. New winner in the sprint car division, Bobby Landis. And that has to be some kind of a record because we haven't had a Juniata County car win the feature here at this Juniata County Speedway since the days of the Groninger K33 and Keith Kaufman.
I'm really happy for the Landis crew. I'm happy for anybody who can win here at Port Royal and to do it the way Landis did, coming in with a low-dollar operation, deciding to say, hey, let's take this stuff serious, and then to be successful right off the bat.
Almost a Cinderella story tonight. Okay, for the entire Strasser Motorsports video team, I'm Johnny Strasser along with Bill Satzler here in the tower, our #1 camera person, Patty Strasser, and we mustn't forget our cameraman down in the infield and pit area and covering the post-race interviews, Roger Freed and Andy Harvillix. For the entire team here at Strasser Motorsports Video Productions, I'm Johnny Strasser saying so long from the Port Royal Speedway.